She's T-posing.
It's time to embarrass these fools.
Dead eyes ready.
Salty. Hello there.
No. Bar XD, bro.
What the f?
That worked?
Stop!
Ooh, yes.
Woo! Spicy Adoro!
I'm joking! Stop! Psych!
Very well played. Well, if it isn't Raventric, the daily content YouTuber. And for the first time, I'm actually reviewing a newer champion instead of the 1 year later method. That's the old Raven. He's long dead and probably from making too many bad memes. Or most likely courtesy of this young gal. Sati, a champion that brought me back to the good old days of CS. And that sick Deagle gameplay. You know what I mean. By sick I mean spamming left click while missing every shot. At least that's how I remember it. But is her gun actually as powerful as the legendary 50 caliber monster itself? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So without further ado, I present you, Sati, the trickshot champion.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
Huh? What's going on with you?
My spider senses are starting to tingle.
Do it!
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Easy.
That's going to 1,000.
Woo! Let's go, baby!
There's gonna be a clip of me just standing here doing this.
Yes. But now for a word from today's sponsor, Outplay. Are you looking for an automatic all-in-one recording/editing software? One that simply can't be beat. And did I mention virtually no frame drops?
Nice.
With Outplay, you can just enjoy your favorite games while it records automatically, saving you time with its bookmarks on what to keep, and an in-depth customizable UI where you can choose anything from the recording quality to storage space and highlights. In all honesty, I found my new favorite recording software, and it simply shocked me that the quality 1080p 60fps on a 50-minute video weighed less than 5 gigabytes on my hard drive. But we're not done yet. Outplay also allows you to share your plays straight to your friends. Just clip it and ship it at the click of a button, whether that be Discord or your social media of choice. It's got a ton of supported games and the list just keeps on getting bigger, but in the off chance your favorite one isn't there, you can always use the screen recorder. Best part? It's completely free. Use my link in the description to download Outplay for free and share your Outplays with the world. Thank you Outplay for sponsoring this video and show this new sponsor some love, guys. It's definitely worth checking out. But now back to the video. Sati is currently one of the best champions in Paladins of the Realm. She's the DPS class with some sass and gets rid of bad guys fast. Oh man, that's cringe. Assuming you can aim, which I personally can't. To my surprise, for the first time in years, I actually like the new champion's kit. It's probably because of nostalgia, but she does have a lot of unique abilities. One of those abilities is hand cannon. Yes, it is that very beast of a gun itself and should be handled by only a qualified professional.
That's on me.
It deals 525 damage every half a second and 825 if you land a headshot. The weapon itself feels satisfying to use and has a pleasant sound effect. A solid primary overall. And really, that's all there is to say about it. Or so you would think. But Evil Mojo, even on their wiki, has failed to state that it has a passive, which can only be found on the Advanced tab in the game. Now it states the following. You have 8 energy pips that are consumed as you use your abilities. At 4 pips and below, you will move 20% faster. At 5 pips and above, you will fire your hand cannon 10% faster, and I personally think that would be a significant thing to mention on the skill itself. When it comes to gameplay, you will rarely have a chance to really control how many pips you have left, but both effects just buff your overall kit. Her secondary fire is Ricochet. You toss out Allowance, a single coin, because you're apparently broke, which deals 100 damage if it passes through enemies, or 250 if you shoot it in the air, suspending it and allowing you to shoot a few more times before it explodes, dealing 550 damage. Now this will consume 2 of your pips and is an auto-aim ability, so hitting anything within 10 units? Units of what?
Units of stress! You're very
They don't really clarify that, but who's asking for more auto-aim abilities? I highly doubt anyone wants more of them. And at this point, why not autoplay? Let the game do everything for you, like some mobile game. And I guess at least people will finally stay on point, so there's always that. The skill is meant to help you focus down targets that are hiding on low HP. And while most of the time it was useless, I actually managed to use it successfully a few times.
Cardboard.
Getting value from the coin! I got value from the coin! Now, I did play around with this ability and even used one of the talents to try and make it somewhat useful, and so this build was born. One that focuses on getting your ultimate up as fast as possible. Is it practical? No, not really. But is it fun? Well, yeah. Speaking of her ultimate, it's pretty much Genosult, but having it up constantly, and instead of killing the enemy, you tickle them for 777 damage, with 3 shots in total. These shots go through walls, enemies, and any other obstacle, while also allowing you to move. You know, this kind of reminds me of a champion from a now dead game named Battlerite, who actually had a similar kit. She had these large pistols, stealth, even the escape, only her ultimate does not fully go through terrain.
Round 1. That's that. Easy shooting.
Yes, I know, I'm good at other games too. Praise me! Now, I'm not trying to say anything, but it does go to show that her kit really isn't that original or unique in any sense. And that's okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now for this old spam fest, you will need 2 certain cards, Steady Predictions and Sure Shot. The rest, as always, is pretty much optional. And while this playstyle is fun, if I'm being honest, the only use I found for her coin is tossing it at my teammates as I slowly lose my sanity while playing on 200 ping. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. Whoa. No. Why do I have 203 ping? The things I do for you guys. But enough about her boring playstyle. What else can our favorite Invis gal do? Well, it depends. Have you ever heard of rocket science?
People call me the space cowboy.
I'm about to ruin our enemy's entire day. Back off!
No, you don't want
Target practice!
6 gunning this, brother running this, buffalo.
Oh, they're gonna chase me. They're gonna chase me. Yeah, they're gonna chase me!
My girl's got a Falcon Heavy strapped to her Gucci high heels. Oh, and I guess the cards help a little bit too? To, well, reach such astronomical heights, and help the realm colonize Mars. For this, you will need Step Off 5 and Closing Time 4. Now you're something of a rocket scientist yourself. With these cards in you, Santi becomes an absolute menace.
Show man a sign if you're down for the game.
For the game, we'll protect. We be busting the clubs, cause you know that we can't. For the game, we'll protect. Still rocking the show, still feeling the flow.
So what exactly does this allow us to do? Well, it's quite simple, really.
That's unreal.
Because it's one thing, and this one thing only. Yup, that's it. Just continue your campaign of launching things straight through the atmosphere and into open space. It's quite the effective playstyle, as the crowd control throws off your target's aim, and makes it easier to hit them at the same time. This is also the best talent and loadout to counter hyper-aggressive dive comps and flanks that depend on their mobility, like Bounce House Buck.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
The talent that works in synergy with this build is Windows of Opportunity, knocking enemies straight up into the air and allowing you to do 20% more damage for 1.5 seconds. Now you're probably starting to see why I like this champion. Yes indeed, she does remind me of a budget buck. Who knows, maybe one day she will learn to actually jump. But for now, this playstyle creates some incredibly entertaining moments, such as this.
Skye was on one side of the tree, so I just stepped.
I mean, come on, that just feels so satisfying. Once you learn the approximate height that your enemy will be launched to, you can pre-fire that exact spot when they fall down. Best part is, your opponent won't be able to do a thing about it, unless they have some form of escape. And that escape better be fast, because you're about to do close to 2k damage in a matter of 1 second. or possibly even less. The main skill I use in this combo is her escape ability. Blast Bat. You do a little somersault and knock people up or away from you, depending on which playstyle you went with. As far as escape abilities go, it's okay, but the fact that you can use it twice when on full pips makes it one of the better ones out there, and it becomes completely busted when playing Windows of Opportunity. If that's not enough for you, she also has a secondary escape, and sort of an engaged skill, depending how you look at it, Dead Ringer. No, not that one. Get that garbage out of here. When used, you slap down a cardboard cutout of Sakura from the hit anime Naruto. And you better believe it, all the weebs will fall for it over and over again, as they get revealed by hitting or being hit by the decoy's line of fire.
What?
Shh.
Despicable. You also receive invisibility for 1.5 seconds, and this is by default. Now I say by default because Sati's cards are so overtuned that you can add everything from extra speed, damage reduction, invisibility duration, and all the way to actually increasing the time your enemies are revealed into one singular loadout. I mean, it's honestly a bit too much. Her invisibility allows her to get the first shot off every single time, if you have the aim, of course. I can't hit the coin because of thing. But no, really, people don't understand how huge this actually is. Imagine the enemies just minding their own business, oblivious to the fact that they're already in your sights. Yes, this is the moment. You can already see their name in the kill feed. You know you've outplayed them on a deep molecular level. It's over. And if you're feeling extra naughty, you could even use it to spawn camp along with some other various characters that Evil Mojo designed specifically for this purpose.
Wait, they're about to go on? Yep.
Yeah,
That's what.
Oh, did I go and get it right? Yay.
They never saw it coming. The high damage multiplied by headshots along with being able to pick your fights makes Sati the ultimate damage champion.
I require healing.
I truly believe this playstyle makes Sati the best current damage champion, or, well, flank? I mean, we can just as easily play her as an invisible flank at this point. Then, why do we need this?
Know your place, trash.
I feel kind of bad for Skye. Sati didn't only replace her in the trailer, but in-game too. It's like Evil Mojo already knew this would happen and even based their trailer off of Skye getting kicked in by Sati. A shame, a real shame. Then again, Skye's always been a weird one, and Evil Mojo could have just finally snapped once they discovered her art.
Skye, what is this drawing?
That's not mine.
It was in your locker.
So what? I didn't draw it.
Skye!
Someone put it there.
Now listen.
I would never draw this.
You drew it, you little liver scurvy dog. You signed it.
Oh, yeah, I signed it.
Why in the bloody hell would you draw a back-to-legged tiger person?
That's my persona.
You bloody what?
His name is Tiberius. He's my persona.
What in the hell is a persona?
I just roleplay as a soft, shy tiger boy on Twitter.
You act like a bloody cat on the interwebs.
A cat. Tiberius is a tiger. But yes, whatever. I just want to feel cute.
Cute?
Yes.
You just want to feel cute?
Yes. Elmo.
What?
What?
What the hell was that?
Nothing.
What did you just say?
I didn't say anything.
Sati just waltzed in during the patch when most people were asking Flanks and Skye in particular to be buffed, walked straight up to Skye and said, "Your role's mine now. And I'm keeping the DPS one too."
What?
Now sure, we can make theories on how to use this decoy skill of hers properly, play around it blocking the incoming enemy fire, and sure, sometimes it does work out, like this silly Vatu trying to do the same thing over and over again. Why does he keep doing that? I honestly felt bad for him. The talent and loadout that takes the most advantage of Santi's natural-born talent to be a menace is improvised. But how does all of this actually look in game? Well, I'm glad you asked. We begin with me wasting my ult right as the match point starts, to try and get some damage in before I actually push.
Santi ult right off the bat works every time, dude.
Now, don't do this. Please, don't do this! Her ultimate isn't a skill to just throw away. It's best saved as a finisher for low HP targets that are possibly hiding or running away from you. I know it works here, but please don't be like me. I then go invisible and proceed to flank the enemy team in a blatantly disrespectful way. And by flank, I mean just straight up walk up to them.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Balderdash!
Now you already know what I'm going to say. This isn't the smartest thing to do. A better way would have been flanking from far right or left of the map and just fighting at medium range. Not point blank like some crazed lunatic, but the thing is, Santi's kit allows you to do this and get away with things most other DPS or even flanks could never dream of. Here my teammate, who's actually using his brain, unlike me, tells me to retreat as he sees the rest of the enemy team now looking directly at me.
Raven retreat, you're probably gonna die.
So do you think I, A, take his advice and back out, relocating to a better tactically advantageous position, satisfied with the picks I just got? B, back up just enough to get a heal behind the corner right next to me, or C?
Nano machine, son! As Nando retreats in fear from witnessing the collapse of his entire team, there's only one thing on my mind. I want him. And as fate would have it, an unsuspecting Drogos appears, who chose not to group up with his team, but take the bait in the form of his low HP friend. So what did the enemy team do wrong? How could they have prevented such a fast wipe? In all honesty, nothing. Santi is a slept-on DPS. Sure, you can buy Illuminate and try to counter the Invis decoy spam build with that, but you still have to worry about the massive headshot damage and her incredible firing rate. The reason I push so aggressively on her is just that. It's so much easier to actually hit the headshots in the first place, and do full headshot damage along with 0 damage drop-off. As for Illuminate, while they're buying that, you can just go for Haven, Veteran, or some other far more useful item. And by the end of the game, they will be sitting there sobbing in a corner with their pathetic Illuminate 3, while you show up with your 16.5 damage reduction like a real Chadette. Then you have games like these. Game, Paladins. Class, Santi. Hotel, Jaguar Falls. The overtime clock is beating in a rapid panic. At the moment it is anyone's game, but the difference between a victorious enemy team and yours is one sneaky gal with a 5mm argument in the form of a gun. I gracefully hop onto the point in sheer panic and miss several shots on the entire enemy team rushing towards me. Then we finally connect on the fleeing Imani, and that finally gets the ball rolling. I quickly go invisible right before their very eyes, placing decoys tactically on the point. The enemy Azan does not have enough time to figure out what's even happening, as I turn my focus on the backline, taking down one after another. With Azan finally being the only member of his team alive, you can see the confusion in his eyes. He's lost. He does not understand how it got to this point.
No! This must not be!
Well, the answer is simple, you poor overpowered fool. Santi.
How could I lose?
And just like that, even though I die from a respawning Imani, my team can finish her off and win us the game. Yup, Santi thrives in this sort of chaos, making for an extreme nuisance in confined spaces, where the enemy simply has no way to escape your exploding decoys. This all adds up and helps you carry point fights more often than not. But Raven, that's just the meta playstyle, I hear you say. You can't do that with other builds, right? You might be once again asking yourself. Oh my naive friends, I assure you it almost does not matter what talent you use. Santi's talents are all amazing in their own special way. For example, here I've picked the Window of Opportunity talent, in the previously mentioned knock-up build. I start off by noticing a Vatu who seems to be retreating due to his low health. Oh, you poor fool. So I go to the only logical place he might be, and as he's mid-emo trying to catch me off guard, I completely obliterate him from existence.
My guy probably had a mini heart attack right on spot, but then I focused on the rest of the enemy team. This time actually doing a proper flank instead of, and oh, never mind. I again just push aggressively into Willow and send her straight up to the moon. I then proceed to turn my focus on Drogos and do some of the fanciest strafing I've ever personally seen. Serious, I was feeling like Neo from the Matrix at this point. I should not have survived that. But yet again, Sati's default mobility is just enough to pull off something like that. As I eliminate the remaining Drogos and get my quadra kill stolen as usual, I can't help but think, am I just good at the game? Is this all natural gamer skill? Am I just the best player in
You're out of time.
Nah, Sati's just an incredibly overtuned DPS character. In a meta where DPS characters kind of suck. She seems to perform so well because her kit allows you to fill both DPS and flank roles. All of this at the same time. You can mix and match your playstyles to be aggressive or prevent aggressive characters from ever touching you.
See, what's he supposed to do? He's on the moon, boys! What is he supposed to do? Did you see that? What's he supposed to do? Did you see that pathetic attempt at trying to kill Sati? That's me as fuck every time I try to jump Sati. Do you guys think that's fair? I don't.
She's basically the Swiss Army knife of paladins when it comes to damage or flanks. So as this ultimate being, can you now freely rule over the realm without any fears? Any fears whatsoever of ever being dethroned? I mean, dethroned. Dethroned. Well, not exactly.
Listen, wait, bro.
Well,
hold on, stop,
I don't know.
And with that, I present to you Sati's counters.
Nanika. Yoka.
Dio sama. こいつの前に来るだけで背骨に氷を詰められた気分になる。落ち着け、ホルゴース。圧倒されるな。なんてことはね。俺よりほんの少し強いかもしれないってだけだぜ。
何の用だと聞いたのだ、ホルホース。
その報告に来たんです。
全く戦いに行かないじゃないか。情報連絡員なら誰にでもできるぞ。2度も失敗して逃げ帰ってきたな。今度こそジョースターどもを殺してきてくれよ、私のために。さもなくば私がお前を殺すぞ。
ふざけやがって！こいつ俺を追い詰めるつもりか？おめえ本当に強えのか？背後が好きだらけだぜ。考えてみればジョースターたち4人と戦うよりこいつは今たった1人。簡単に蹴りがつくぞ。財宝も俺のものだ。やはり好きだらけだ。エンペラーの銃口を向けているのにこいつは気づいていない。今ならやれるぞ。引き金をちょっと引くだけだ。一瞬で終わりさ。接近での暗殺こそエンペラーの独壇場。俺ならやれる。やれるぞ。
何をしている？早く行けよ。
ぶっ殺してやる。脳みそ床にぶちまけやれ。ティオさんよ。
本当に私を撃とうとしているのか？
いない。
気に入った。殺そうとする一瞬。汗もかいていないし呼吸も乱れていないな。冷静だ。さすがホルホース。
Yep, even though she might not seem like it, with the recent buffs added, Stun, and her ultimate plus the ability to vanish instantly, becoming fully immune, makes Ceres one of the strongest counters to Sati. I know, I wouldn't have thought so either, but if Ceres ends up going the DPS talent, she becomes pretty much unkillable and forces you to buy resilience before you can even dream of 1v1ing her. In fact, almost all of the supports from Domba to Grover can counter you pretty easily with crowd control. You're better off picking fights with them when you're at medium to high range, because up close and personal just doesn't work the same as it does against DPS and flanks. For example, here I'm facing a tough enemy team with Torvald Silence, Vora Silence, Ceres, and even Moji with her stupid shield. It doesn't get more toxic than that. That Moji also has a Torvald Ceres pocket. Now I can't play aggressively as I like, so I poke them from a distance, leaving decoys in places where I know they will push me, which they end up doing. Once we get a pick on Torvald and Moji, the rest is but a matter of time. The unsuspecting enemy Ceres. Oh, you poor thing, she doesn't even know I'm behind her. This is the moment right here. This is why you pick Skye. I mean Sati. Her moment to shine. After that, it's just the Vora, a now much easier target, and an even easier one. Oh, well.
Sorry.
That's embarrassing. Look, I did tell you that aim is the most important thing on our girl, and sometimes that's just what I lack. Hey, happens to the best of us. Now we already know that supports are completely broken in this game. What's new? But what I expected least to counter her is the tanks. You know, the very class you're supposed to pump your damage into? Yeah, most of them have life-saving ultimates like Koa and Nando, along with huge shields that make you completely useless even with Record 3. Unlike damaged champions such as Drogos, you'll be sitting there shooting shields all day as your team flames you for not doing enough. And then we have the most terrifying one of them all. Yeah, Yagorath has gotten some buffs recently, and if you're ever caught alone with that monstrosity, it's pretty much GG. Go next life. You simply don't do enough damage to escape her ultimate, and you still don't do enough damage to actually kill her. This is where Sati really lacks compared to Drogos or any other champion with an execute ultimate. She's the classic gal still stuck in 2016 playing Counter-Strike, while the rest of the champions have copy-pasted Overwatch straight into their bloodstream. So we know who she's good and bad against, but who's she good with? From that very Ceres, ironically, with the use of their combined ultimates, to literally every single flank and off-tank in the game. Honestly, I'd go as far as to say that she would be good with every single champion. Sati is the unique DPS class that can go along with other flanks while being invisible. This also provides a huge reveal as to where the enemy is, and an unexpected help when the team fight actually starts. She can sit on point with the tanks and make annoying decoys that every single tank will hate dealing with. Like some sort of crossing guard placing cardboard cutouts with C4 tied to the back of them. A very effective method of stopping people from crossing at the wrong times, if you ask me.
You saved my life there.
She can sit back with the DPS, or even the snipers, just poking at the enemy while also being able to protect her partners in crime, or even come along with the supports to do the very same thing. Bodyguard Sati, she just works in every single comp. Her kit allows her to be very useful in pretty much every single situation. What can I say? A master of all trades. And because of that, she does not really rely on any other champion like some of the other characters do. Sure, she can benefit from a Furia ult or a combined ultimate of other champions, but that's nothing special. Every single character in the game actually benefits from those.
Like here, I'm playing Buck, while having a pocket support in the form of a cat girl.
Give me all my money.
Now, if I jump into certain death under any other circumstance, I would die. But this time I survive and keep surviving even after getting a few picks. Yeah, who would have thought that having a fellow support follow you would have such great results? A shout out to my homegirl Rai for being amazing and choosing me over the rest of my team, as they slowly die in agony. Just the best.
As I said, Swiss Army knife of the realm, Sati knife. So here we are at the end of the road. What is my final conclusion on Sati? Well, I think she's one of the, if not the, best damage and flank champions. That had a little bit too many buffs to drink in, and ironically that actually topples her over sometimes due to the overconfident playstyle that her kit promotes. Players feel the need to be close up and personal, and that just might be her downfall. I've noticed that at the start of the game, when I see a Sati push so aggressively, I simply buy Illuminate and wait for her with my team. You know, because it's a team-based game, knowing that she will just do the same exact thing over and over again. But there are rare times you run into an actual good player using this over-tuned monster. A player that knows when to push, how to play peak and map advantage. Well, that's going to be an incredibly hard game. Even 5 stacks of Grandmaster players still struggle with this character.
Trying to pressure them a little bit from the right side. I have literally no pressure to them at all, but you know.
They keep thinking they can look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want him! Come back, you coward! See, I'm just better. 5 stacks? Who? I'm Raventric.
5 stacks. Ooh.
Sati is fairly easy to master and you only need decent aim. The rest will come from just playing her. Because of that, my rating for Sati is 10 out of 10 cheaters from CSGO. Wow, that's an incredible high score coming from me, if I do say so myself. And I do. Definitely a champion worth investing your hard-earned gold in for now, and I hope you enjoy her as much as I have. That's it for this video, my lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do press that like button. It does help me in the algorithm, and consider subscribing if you still haven't for more. I'd like to shout out our lovely channel members, the FoxKing, Magma, Flux, Tried I Repeat, Faint, and the rest of these lovely people on screen along with the description below. As always, if you'd like a friendly gaming community to join, consider joining our Discord server. We're also hosting a giveaway on that very Discord server for 3 Paladins event passes, of course of the current patch, so if you'd like a chance at that or any future ones, it's even more of a reason to join. That, along with all my socials, will be in the description below. Let me know your thoughts on Sati and if you'd like to see more videos like this. I actually do enjoy making them and will probably keep these series a thing. Well, that's it for now, folks, and I hope to see you in the next video.